Bienvenida a la tercera semana en que vamos a estudiar capítulo 3. So welcome to week 3. We are already going to be beginning capítulo 3. And in this chapter, you'll be able to express more ideas and actions in the present tense. We'll cover some irregular verbs as well as stem changing verbs. And you'll also branch out a little bit into the future on being able to say, like, I'm going to work. I'm going to take your blood pressure, using the structure of ir a with an infinitive. You'll also learn the differences between the two verbs, saber and conocer, which both mean to know, but to know different things. You will identify both in written language as well as oral language the use of the personal a, which right now, let me tell you, has no meaning, no translation, no equivalent to English, but it is used in Spanish. Okay. Also, you'll be able to use more of ser and estar to help you in describing people, places, and things. You will also be able to identify articles of clothing and expand upon how to express feelings, on how you feel using idioms with the verb tener. Okay. As well as being able to use proper etiquette when talking on the telephone in terms of conversations with a receptionist, for example. Okay. So in order to reach these objectives, you want to make sure you watch the welcome video that I'm currently recording. You want to read the textbook, complete the corresponding My Spanish Lab activities. There's a quiz on Blackboard. You want to make sure that you complete 2 hours of your language and cultural contact. You want to take the quiz in My Spanish Lab over the grammar, and you'll complete and turn in your first language and cultural contact presentation. And just a reminder that on June 2nd, you will have your midterm oral exam. Okay, and you will find that information in this folder. Now, if you did not do so the week prior, here is the link, okay, to sign up for a time to take that oral exam on June 2nd. So let's just go into the folder a moment. And as is in every folder, you will have the lista de tareas. Okay. You'll find here's an abbreviated list of the tasks that you're going to complete. Okay. Now again, most of these items will be due by June 5th at 11:59 p.m. on that Sunday. Okay. Except for the oral midterm, which will be due on June 2nd. Now there are no dialogues during this week. Okay. So you'll have the new video. I realize this has the old video up there. You'll have the new video. Okay. The lectura en tarea, you'll see here's the Semana 3 plan. Okay. And so you'll be able to see which activities correspond in My Spanish Lab to what you are doing within the textbook. Here is the quiz. Okay. The quiz for this week, and I apologize, it's in this video it says Semana 5. I will change that to 3. But you have a little video about a patient intake form. This is very common in the medical field. So this presentation is going to visually and orally present you to the vocabulary associated with the patient intake form. And we've divided this into 2 parts. Okay, so you want to listen, you want to take notes, study the vocabulary. Okay, so es importante que usted se familiarice con este formulario de ingreso de pacientes. Es información personal básica y se llena en la primera visita al doctor. Okay. Below, you have some information about writing accent marks, and then you'll have the quiz. Okay. Over that first part, you'll have one attempt, and you'll be given 15 minutes to complete it. Okay. Okay, so that is the quiz. And I apologize, it should say Semana 3. Okay. Language and cultural contact presentation. Okay. So if we go into this folder, you'll see that this is directly taken out of the syllabus. Okay. So you can reread through that. Now, since we only have one active student in the class, typically we would have responses to the presentations. Okay. But unfortunately, there are no other presentations to view. So you definitely want to review that information there. And there's also an example of a good presentation, although it does go way over the 5 minutes. So you want to make sure you keep your presentation to 5 minutes, no more than 7. Okay. And here is the link in which you will post the link to your presentation. Okay. And you post your presentation by clicking on the assignment title above, then clicking Create Thread, and you'll be able to attach it there. Okay. And here's how to use Google Hangouts on Air to record your language contact presentation. Okay. And so you want to make sure that you practice with this ahead of time. Okay. So let me scroll back up. The last piece of information will have to do with the oral exam. Here we have a reminder of signing up before May 31st, if you have not done so already. And here are the instructions. Okay. You're going to sign up on the Google Calendar. Okay. You'll email me as soon as possible if you have any conflicts so I can arrange another time. These are going to be between 10 to 15-minute interviews, one-on-one. Okay. And please be on time for your appointment and be patient while we connect. So what you're going to study, the exam consists of 2 parts. The first part is a vocabulary quiz. The second part is a role play. So the vocabulary quiz, you'll go to Blackboard to the Terminología Médica, and you'll study the patient intake form part 1. And I will ask you 10 of those words in English, and you will give me the Spanish translation of those words in less than 3 seconds. So it'll be very quick. Okay. And so that part, should take, about a minute, or under, I should say. Okay. And the second part is a role play. I'm going to choose one of the dialogues, okay, beginning from week 1 and week 2. Okay, so dialogues 1 through 4, and we will do those together. Okay, the last thing you have are some recursos in this folder. Okay, you have some information on the difference between Hispanic versus Latino. Okay, there's a song to practice your vocabulary. Here's some information on how to check your grades online. Okay. And then I have some PowerPoints that I brought over from another textbook, but it goes over the information that you are covering. The irregular verbs, the stem changing verbs, that future ir a, the verbs saber y conocer, ser and estar, those idiomatic expressions with tener. And here's kind of a general video that was done by another instructor over the first part overview up through chapter 3. And then there's a song and some more stem changing verbs and saber versus conocer practice. And there are some links to conjuguemos to help you practice those forms if you feel that you need it. Okay. So you have all those extra resources that if you need extra practice in a specific area. Okay. So, bienvenida a la tercera semana. y buena suerte.